That's why I muted my mic. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I love when technical problems are just human error and not gremlins in the machines.
Oddly comforting with what I've been going on with this interface that has been applying at all my shows. We're live here. ForceCenter Live, our monthly live stream Friday. I'm Ken Knapsack.
I'm Joseph Scrimshaw, and as our tradition on our Friday live streams, we're just both hot messes, it would appear. How about you, Ken? At what heat level is your mess today?
It's feeling hot, hot, hot. Rest in peace, David Johansen, Buster Poindexter. Yeah, I had a live stream this morning, and I took a break, and I went to do an easy errand that turned into a large problem. Shout out to our buddy Daniel Falconer, who's off in the chat, but he had emailed. This is actual mail. But the guy couldn't find this, and it was one of those, like, I was actually like, can I just go behind the counter? I think I see the number, and it took a long time, so I came crashing into this live stream. But nice. You, sir, a little more adventurous, right?
Oh, yeah, I've been editing away on the horror film, and I had a scene that I just couldn't let go of last night, so I edited until 3:30 in the morning, and it was a horrible, vicious, scary scene of a horrible attack that I edited till 3:30 in the morning and slept for about 3 hours. So oof. I'm kind of doing okay. But if I'm a little spacey, that's why.
That's why. You are a creative and artist, been at this a long time. But at one point, was this somewhere between heaven and hell, where you're like, I hate that I am up till 3:30 working on this, but also, man, isn't this cool? I'm on my film editing till 3 in the morning. Did you have that battle?
So it is. It's so, oh my gosh. Because when it works, when a scene comes together, it's just so beautiful. So then you spend all the time putting it together, being afraid this is the time it's not going to come together. So it is like fear and reward every scene pretty much.
Fear reward, the movie making story. Everyone checking in today. Molly David just says oof, which could be to anything you and I have said. My anytime partner Alden Diaz here, editing to 3 a.m. 3:30 a.m. Pour yourself a drink, good sir. I poured a drink. Did you pour yourself a drink today?
I did. I poured myself a gin and ginger. Yeah, and
whiskey straight.
Since Molly's in the chat, I've been loving listening to Mayhem, but that didn't help me with my sleep because I had Zombie Boy stuck in my head while trying to sleep, and that's not a go to sleep song.
No, it's not. It's a dance song. I love Zombie Boy. You and I got to find a way to dance to that some dance floor this year.
Oh yeah,
and a place, a place to do it would have been Star Wars Celebration. That's one of the things we'll be focusing on today. Looking ahead to Star Wars Celebration, maybe sharing our own memories of Star Wars Celebration. I actually was looking through old pictures going back to 2015 of every celebration I've been fortunate to attend. You are in at least 65% of those photos. So it's been a fun journey, and we'll take your calls. Calls today from Patreon supporters. Excited to hear from you today as well.
So I was looking at the schedule for Star Wars Celebration, and very handily on the blue sky of Star Wars Explained, breaking it down to those lovely graphics, which were easy to find. Ken, I wanted to ask you, I noticed that I saw a little bit of chatter about how the volume of panels seems a little bit lighter, or the volume of big news. For somebody who's going to be in CouchCon and would have loved to be there in person, I'm kind of okay with that. I don't want them to make more announcements than they need to, or sort of feel like we've set a bar and now we always have to hit it. And also I kind of feel like I love that there's news, and there's big news, and there should be big news, but also it's Star Wars Celebration, which is like, hey, celebrate with other fans and buy action figures.
I'm glad you started with that. That is, I've been of several different minds on this panel announcement. Number one, I am not being cynical or being above it all. I'm not going, you're not going, and that bums me out. And I will miss, just, to me, celebrations are the memories and the people you made and those moments. I know I'm gonna see all the pictures. I'm gonna be bummed that I'm not getting drunk with Alex Damon in some bar at 2 a.m. Going, let's go to 7-Eleven. They've got egg salad sandwiches. I know that, but I also saw the panel thing and went, yeah, I'm glad I'm not breaking my bank for that. And I got to be honest with, but it wasn't about the news. I think in line with you. I'm kind of glad there isn't a showcase panel in which we're going to have some more major announcements. I've had a lot of fun of those. The London one was spectacular. I just think maybe we don't worry about that. And Mandalorian and Grogu, Andor Season 2, animation announcements, Ahsoka Season 2. Let's keep it to that. And so therefore, I think it's a win overall.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think people are saying it in the chat as well. Like the updates on current projects is like, yeah, let's get hyped for what is coming out. The next thing that frankly fans get to see and experience and talk about and all that, rather than it's not an investor meeting. I don't need to know your 15-year master plan necessarily.
Sorry. I just realized I need to make sure the call setting. Otherwise, we're going to see faces of people who aren't expecting their faces to be seen on camera. I apologize. Yeah. And I had a little bit of snark. I want to make sure I put it's in the right spot. But like some of the panels, I was like, we're just rewatching cartoons. Huh? All right, okay. We're just putting on some episodes of Clone Wars. Cool. Is that what we're doing here? But to your one of your points up top is there is something refreshing about celebration being about celebrating, and that's the vibes. That's what always wins out. All the great news stuff is cool, but I don't put that in top 20 of memories.
Yeah,
as I do just celebrating Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like the Ian McDiarmid coming out, Roll It Again, the reveal of the title, that stuff was great. Some of the, Ewan McGregor stuff has been great. The Daisy Ridley Ray movie announcement was phenomenal. So I'm not going to lie, definitely some of the big news pops were a part of it. But a huge part of that was community. And then talking to people about it and going to the floor and going, I'm going to buy a new Ray action figure because they just announced a Ray film, all that kind of thing.
And this is, Oh no, hit me. You got something there? I just, and we know there's going to be announcements. There's going to be a lot to talk about. Even just announcing a new animated show or film or any kind of project coming out. That's going to be great to hear. And even if that was it, and it's not going to be it, we'd have a lot of fun talking about that.
Our friend Alden does point out the lack of Revenge of the Sith 20th and the Force Awakens 10th panels is the most egregious thing to me. Other than that, things are solid enough. Yeah, maybe D23 is where they do that, but yeah, that is breaking from some tradition there.
Yeah, I was slightly surprised at that too. I know you got Oscar Isaac making the trip out there, and I know that there was a lot of what does that mean? It could just mean he's out there to make some money selling pictures and autographs and being on a fun panel and flying to Japan. So we'll get a little bit of it, but yeah, I'm with Alden and others too. Like 20 years of revenge is pretty cool.
Well, let's talk a little bit about things then that we do hope for out of Celebration, and absolutely, please in the chat, let us know what you are looking forward to. We got our calls coming in that we'll get to, but also as always, we appreciate the old super chats. We'll try to get to any questions, but if they are super chats, we'll make sure to get to them. I got distracted because I saw somebody's nice chat in it. It's really multitasking communication in a really fun way. So for me, I'll start here, Ken. I don't think it's too early for some sort of Mandalorian and Grogu teaser. I would love it if it was a super stylized teaser. Like, do you remember the very first Attack the Clones teaser in 2002? It was just like flashes of images. Yes, it wasn't enough to put together narrative. Yeah, it was just the sort of the in and out, and the sort of Star Wars returns to the big screen. The biggest sensation ever on the small screen returns to the big screen, and just quick snapshots to hype you up. I would love something like that.
I would love that. We're obviously going to get a lot of Mando and Grogu stuff. We got Ahmed Best teasing a big announcement and that kind of thing that he did on his Instagram page. It was great if anyone saw that. Him asking for local designers if they want to style him, and he was the excitement was bursting through him. So I think we're getting some stuff there. But your point there, I love the idea of doing what they did with Force Awakens, though that was different. That was capital T, capital H, the return of Star Wars. This is 5-6 years from a film. Draw it out. Give us a teaser. Don't give it, maybe in the arena you get a scene. Maybe you get something cool.
Yeah.
Love that. But for us out here, the normies, steerage class, let's go ahead and give us a teaser, and I'll wait 6 months to a year till we hear from it again. Much like the Black Friday Force Awakens teaser, and then Celebration Anaheim 2015 with the next trailer hit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's too early for a teaser. We're around a year out from the announced release date, which of course could move, but May 2026, we're not that far away at all.
I agree with that. And it just like let's let it build. Let's let it build. But also, let's be present with the marketing of this film.
Yeah. And since they showed some clips elsewhere that, were only at convention, obviously they have some footage.
Have a little bit. Have a little bit. I know. I hope the panel is they just come on out and Favreau unfurls a big long paper and is like, let's talk about our budget. Let's go. You guys have heard 166 million. Let's do it. Let's talk about it. Here's the line items.
Oh man, that would be great. And here's what we expect to spend on marketing.
Yeah, exactly. The movie costs $34 million. The marketing's going to cost $120 million.
Yeah. I hope it does. I hope they put their backs into it. I think they kind of need to, honestly. Anyway. Yeah. Pedro Pascal. I don't think he has a star in Hollywood Boulevard yet. He'll get one right before the film.
Right. We're saving up our $10,000. The commission's going to do it. Yeah.
The summer of Mando and Grogu and Fantastic Four, Pedro's getting a star.
Oh yeah.
If he doesn't already have one.
Absolutely. If you have any thoughts out there on announcements, things that you want, things that you think, it's not so much about predictions. We're just kind of looking at what might be coming down the pipeline. Brian Ward says something maybe we're all thinking. I just need an announcement that gives me a reason to keep paying for Disney Plus after Andor Season 2.
Well, let's talk about that. They have teased some sort of announcement in the animation panel, right?
Yeah.
I really hope that they do just announce a new show, because I think unless the streaming confusion has caused Disney to pull the plug, I think something's been in development for years to follow up Bad Batch.
Right.
So I have a hope for what it is. But Ken, before we get into hopes, do you think they're going to announce a new animated series?
Yeah, it just seems like everything there is pointing towards that announcement wasn't even, it was vague adjacent. Like it seemed to have some purpose behind it, right? And the panel, we're going to celebrate, but also we're going to talk about the future. So I'm excited about that. The animation world has a lot of love and anticipation for something coming, but the rumors are a little lighter. So there's definitely been rumors over the last year or so of what might be coming down the pipeline, but that doesn't mean anything that's announced. And I just want to take it in. I have wild ideas on what it might be, what I want it to go, what era, doesn't matter. I think I'll be really excited with the team, and hopefully Jennifer Corbett and Brad Rao have something going forward. I'd love to see that, but I'm just excited to know that it's going forward.
Yeah, I mean, for like what feels like 80 years now since the sequel trilogy came out, many people have been excited about the possibility of a Luke and Ben Solo show. I just kind of don't feel like that's the way the wind is blowing. For lots of different reasons, including how much of a focus that post Return of the Jedi era is going to be in comics and publishing, it feels like. So I am really leaning towards what Annie Sander just said. They still owe us an explanation for Ventress returning from the dead. So they better bring it. I really want, the path. I want it to be about the path. I want it to be about the group of people who are like, let's help Force sensitives get to safety. Maybe rebuild, but for now, just save lives. Focus on safety. It's a really different, really interesting thing. They've set it up in so many different ways, from the Kenobi show with Quinlan Voss's handwriting, the beloved EU character of Corran Horn, right? And then Ventress slots in there perfectly. You got a Ventress Quinlan reunion. They've promised us there will be more to Ventress's story. Depending on the exact timeline, you can get Reva up in there.
Yeah.
You get a growing up Omega in there. It feels so ripe for what animation does. You got Berzoffi in the mix.
Yes.
It's just like, it feels like they have been setting up this sort of Avengers of Force users with something, a big mission they need to do in that era.
Yeah, you were saying what animation does well, right? Like, this is here's our topic sentence, but man, we go deep in so many different areas. You and I have shared a lot, but Bad Batch gets announced. We had already seen those episodes, and it was like, okay, right? Like, yeah, sure, okay, A-Team in space, we got it. We've been through the 80s, we know. And it was so much more than that. And just the path is not it is a woo. And then the way you could, how many places you could go with that, the political stuff. You could have Mothma show up there. You could have Baylor get. You could do anything you want and just make that work. And I like, as much as I'm enjoying reading Mask of Fear right now, which I am, and excited for Andor to come back, and the deep, rich, heavy politics side of Star Wars. I also like knowing that there's also that little Jedi/Force thing going on through all this, and we could play with that more in animation.
Yeah, I would love that. Yeah, because with more time, there could be a lot of great storytelling of what is, how is the Force separate from being a Jedi? What is lost now that the Jedi are lost? That's been my favorite thing so far about Mask of Fear. I'm only about halfway through, but I love that it starts with Bail just being obsessed with, people need to know the Jedi were heroes. Like, there's the political aspect of it, but it starts with such a moral perspective from him of like, no, this is not right. Their memory needs to be preserved. And like, oh man, that kind of philosophical approach to how other people feel about the Jedi is something I don't feel like we've seen as much of.
Yeah. God, how far are you? Do you know your page number? There's
like 230, something like that. There was just a phenomenal little scene with, I'll just say, Mon Mothma in ink.
Yep. Okay, a little bit later, because I went two past like 290.
Okay.
There's an actual line where I was like, does Alexander Freed listen to ForceCenter? Like, there was actually a moment I was like, maybe he's heard it. I don't know. It was kind of fun. Our friend Gwen is here. Hey, Gwen, how are you? And they say, I think the Asajj Path show is most likely, and I would perfectly be happy that my not going to happen wish is still Kira Mall show. You never know. It could all be in there, though. The fact that you might have to get Force-sensitive kids through this galaxy, the underworld's part of that to me. And that might seem like a Major League Baseball all-star team of too many leads, but I think you could do it in animation. And a long-form 16 to 20 episodes. Gwen, I would not give up that dream.
Yeah, and also I think for Bad Batch, they did show a willingness not to do just like total Clone Wars level of anthology, but to like break away and say, these two episodes are focusing on their lives intersect with our main characters, but we're going to focus on this. So yeah, Kira versus Maul is being tangentially connected to the path would be fantastic.
Fan bleeping-tastic, as we'd say once more whiskey hits. Ingenious says, I hope there's an announcement for a Rebellion era show featuring besties Omega and Hera. There's a lot, obviously a lot on the table with Omega, and you've fan casted her in your brain a little bit in a Path show where I think she'd fit in quite nicely. I do love, there's something about, there's this period of time we got Ahsoka, the live action show, which I don't think it's fair just to say it's a de facto Rebels 2.0. I think that's dismissive of both Rebels and Ahsoka. But there's a period of time where Hera in and around the rebellion, and not just no longer being around the corner, but actually being able to work her into more of the things. They've done that, some of the video game stuff, everything. I don't think that's necessarily a serious idea, but give me an animation, give me an animated movie. I'm still on this kick of you got me signed up for Disney Plus. Give me an animation 90-minute movie. I'd be happy.
Yeah, I would love, just a Bad Batch one-off film of Omega
Mm,
joins the rebellion.
yeah.
Fantastic. Why not? I mean, money and
Why
time, I guess, is why not.
not?
But
Yeah.
Jeannie from Tahini, I think, comes in with another good guess of
Yeah.
maybe the new animated show is High Republic based. Publishing initiative is wrapping up. That era is ripe. Um, and it's the High Republic's a long time. It doesn't need to be in the events of the books, right?
Yes, I think I never would have been resistant to the idea, but I think when the phase 1, phase 2 was going on, I would have been like, hey, we got that going on. Not that, hey, I'm good, keep it there. But once I fell off of it a little bit, I miss the era and the characters or just the people. And I love that part of the Acolyte of just kind of it being at the end of that era. So I'm with this idea completely. If they happen to do something in the High Republic, I'd be really thrilled.
Yeah. Colin Sandberg comes in saying, just jumped on. Assumed we already wished for an animated Luke's Jedi Academy show. Like, yeah, no, we did. We totally did. But I went on about it. Ken, how are you feeling about it these days? Do you think it is possible, likely?
Yeah, Brian Ward said something that I'll pull in for this here. Love a sequel era show that does that trilogy what Clone Wars did for the prequels, and we know what he means by that of taking that world, that era, and just exploring it, drilling down on it, and I think there's so much there left to be said and understood. And I know they got the Kylo Ren comic out. I'm a little late on. You and I both love the previous 4-issue run with Luke and Ben. It's one of the best out there. So to do that in series, you and I and Jed have been saying, and other people, we ain't the only ones, but we've been saying since like 2017 was the first time, and I remember saying it on a panel of Lor Santeca and Luke going around doing things. Just that could factor into it too. Just all those kind of unknowns from Luke in that time. This is the best way I think to explore that.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's the quality time with Ben Solo getting to develop his character. I love him in the sequel trilogy, and I think it's perfectly complete, particularly in the Star Wars storytelling style of the big saga films. Of some stuff is implied, but it's great to fill it in, have that quality time with Luke. Yeah, I just feel like with all the recent publication announcements of really spotlighting that post Return of the Jedi era, I think this show could be later when Ben's older. But I also feel like we're in such a different era with the actors. Like when the Clone Wars came out, it was so unique. It wasn't like anything else. Animation was either Saturday morning or weird adult. It was not anything in between. And the prequels had a mixed reception. So nobody was like, why isn't Ewan McGregor dropping everything to voice Obi-Wan Kenobi? And I kind of feel now, I don't know if they could afford or if Mark Hamill and Adam Driver want to do it, right?
Right.
But if they announced it with not Mark Hamill and Adam Driver, I wonder if fans would have more umbrage because it is just a different era than it was in the Clone Wars era.
That's a great question. Maybe we should put an informal poll out there. Would you be upset? Yeah. I think personally it would make. To me, I don't think you're getting Adam Driver anywhere near Star Wars ever again. But which unless it's a Saturday Night Live sketch or he meets a fan on the street, he's always been open about being very nice about that and appreciative of that. By the way, but yeah, I think I'd be more open to personally being it other actors and just exploring it. Right? It just seems. But yeah, that's a good question. It's a different time. I mean, just look what happens when a character makes a jump from animation to live action, and when a performer doesn't always follow with, even though I think there's reasons for that make sense in a general way. There's umbrage taken. To use your word. Yes.
David McCann makes a good point. I think there's a lot of potentials for stories with Luke at that time, but I feel like a lot of people don't want more Skywalker stories. And that's really interesting. I certainly know my many of my friends, my general same age, who really grew up as deep Star Wars fans, but have kind of been curmudgeonly about Star Wars in recent times, would definitely go like, oh, they can't do anything without Luke Skywalker. I feel like for more deep, passionate fans, as Tony Gilroy described us in a recent interview, I wonder if it's more like not wanting Skywalker stories, but being so excited for other characters who we've been teased with but are incomplete, like Asajj and Quinlan and Barriss. And yeah, for me it's I would be happy with either.
Yeah. Excuse me. Alan Smithy says said this, Star Wars fans really pretend that resistance doesn't exist, but it does. I remember animated Poe Dameron and animated Kylo Ren, and Alan, you know, as Alan knows here at Force Center, I think a lot of us not only remember it, we lament that it's often overlooked. It was a show that had a certain style, not just the animation look, but just some of the humor early on. Even you and I have been open about, you know, some slippy, folly kind of humor. Didn't always work, but the show was wonderfully deep. And I loved Phasma in animation, Poe, indeed, in animation, and some great Kylo Ren stuff. So I more with those. Tordos is an amazing character.
Peep It.
Oh, Peep It,
Amazing
the greatest running joke in the history of Star Wars. So I don't think we're going to see the exact continuation of the world, but those characters showing up in other parts of the timeline too, I would love that too.
Yeah, that's great.
I do have to acknowledge we have a great conversation going. I don't want to do the flow here, but Craig says, "Hey guys, loving this. By the way, Ken, please stand up your fantastic Obi-Wan figure. He looks like he had too much blue vodka." He really does.
It's hard. Tika just robbed him again. He's like,
come on, Grogu, hold him up there. Thank you, Craig, for watching and listening. I had this one here. Joseph, in a picture that you shared last night, you had on a shirt that said, as Obi-Wan Kenobi once said, "Hello there." Is that a shirt you guys once sold? Yes, let's tell the tale.
Yeah, that was the intro to Databank Brawl, which, the repeat episodes air. We release them as a podcast on Sunday, so you can hear that intro all the time. And we used to sell it on TeePublic. I'm going to our TeePublic site right now, and I bet it's not there anymore.
Yeah,
or
it got Igered, I always say, even though Bob probably has nothing to do with it.
Oh, no, it's there. It's there right now.
Is it still there?
I think we did the thing where we took off any of the, various tags that draw the eye of Iger.
Yes.
These things happen, and fair enough. But if anybody was interested in that shirt, it is on our tpublic.com/user/ForceCenter right there. First one, on the list and everything.
There you go.
And while you're there, try to stop yourself from buying all of Brian Ward's shirts. Brian's designs are fantastic. The leader of the T-shirt Star Wars space, in my opinion, is Brian Ward.
Indeed, and he says a Western-style image show set on Jakku starring Zuvio keeping the peace after the events of TFA. And Brian, I just think we submit the Databank Brawl animated short you did with me, Joseph, and Mike Black voicing Gus Tours and Zuvio. I think we just submit that. We pitch that right now to Lucasfilm. It's a win.
Oh, yeah. No, that one's great. That is great. I didn't know this. Tika is in Outlaws, just in case anyone doesn't know. As Alden.
Okay.
Love that little criminal. Yeah.
I just left Tatooine went to Akiva, run into Tem and Wexley. But I left Tatooine before I ran into Tika, so I have to go see her then. That's fun. That's cool. It's awesome. Yeah, so get that shirt, Cameron. It's there. All right, and then anything else? Brian says my latest Boss Nat shirt. Boss Nat shirt was DC'd by Hugo Boss. Wonderful.
Wow. We should grab this super chat.
This super chat, and then we can take a call. JMB from checking in from Japan. Some good Japanese yen there.
Nice.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If all three of you were Jedi in the Star Wars universe, which one of you turns Sith, and which remaining would have to fight the Sith? Qui-Gon Kenobi. Well, that gets philosophical real quick.
Look, we don't love to, answer for each other, especially when someone's not here. Jennifer, it's tough for her to join on Friday. She says hello. Jennifer would turn Sith. She'd be the first to turn Sith, and then you'd have to fight her. And then Joseph, I don't know if you could trust me. I might just be an opportunist who's back in playing Axis and Allies games or Risk or something. I would turn. I would turn for money and power and glory. So I don't know if you could trust me.
Yeah, no, it's hard. I think I'd maybe be a little Kenobi with Darth Vader. Of like, I can't do it. It should probably be done, but I'm not going to be the one to do it. Yeah. No, I mean, it's part of the reason I want more Jedi storytelling is because I think we've had so much questioning of the Jedi, which is just great and should be done. I really love what they've done in the High Republic. Is the so many of the Jedi there are like, they're heroes, and there's no doubt that they're heroes, but they're also people, and they're wrestling with the difficult choices of. I love in his premiere when Reith Silas has to use his lightsaber to save his own life and to save other people's. He's trying, like, please don't make me. Please, I like books. Please don't make me cut your arm off. I like books so much. And that is so like not Sith, you know?
One of the things that for me will always be why I love the High Republic and Phase 1 is right now where I'm at, and I'm going to get there. I miss the world. I really do. I just got so behind on them. Is what you're talking about of you got to explore Jedi as beings, as creatures, as humans, as aliens, as people who make choices and have to continue to make the choices, and so many different versions of and great examples of Jedi and Jedi going through it, man. That's why Elzar Mann, a drink and a screw. That's my kind of Jedi. Let's explore that. Let's go through that, and let's Ram Jamaran and all the kind of different for Bel Zettifor, who's like, I name my ships. I don't tell anyone, but I name my ships because I like so many different ways to explore being a Jedi.
Yeah, absolutely.
My Jedi deserve love.
Love like everyone else. I can't wait to get to Temptation of the Force. I've fallen behind. I'm almost caught up on Phase 2, and then I can dive into Phase 3 because as much as I did enjoy Phase 2, my heart is with those characters I met in Phase 1.
Indeed. Boombox Music Talk says this that you and I have discussed even off air. A huge High Republic fan here, but I will say you could skip Phase 2 with little impact to your overall experience. Okay. I don't want to, but, you know, I might have to zoom forward a little bit here.
Yeah, there are parts of it that I really enjoyed, but yeah, I do agree.
Should we take our first call of the day?
Yeah, we should.
If you are a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/ForceCenter, we put a link up right when the show goes live for these monthly live streams. You can call in. We didn't do this last month because we want to concentrate on our charity drive. We also want to thank you all for helping us raise funds and awareness for Trans Lifeline and St. Baldrick's Foundation last month. You can still go back to that episode, and if you leave a super chat, it'll go forward to the organizations that we were supporting there. I got distracted because I have an answer, and I think you did too. Alan Smithies, Obi-Wan Kenobi a virgin? Oh no, he's not. That year with Satine was hot, heavy, and we need a book about it. Okay?
No.
I absolutely believe
things Qui-Gon heard while trying to meditate.
Oh, I want that book. Anyways, our first call of the day is Robert checking in, making sure my system's working. Robert, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We're working. Thank you. Perfect. What's on your mind today?
Going back to Star Wars Celebration, I won't be there due to money and kind of like what Joseph said. If I'm going to Japan, I want to spend a long time there exploring everything. But I do want to do a quick shout out to some of these smaller panels that they've got going on. I know they've got an Kurosawa and Star Wars panel that seems really cool. They've got a young Indiana Jones to a young Anakin Skywalker panel that seems really interesting and cool. So,
wow! Could someone go? Could someone go to that one and take notes for me?
Right? Yeah. So, to those listening who are going, and you can't get into some of these bigger panels, I highly encourage looking at some of these smaller panels because it looks like the smaller panels have a really cool lineup out there. So,
you're highlighting something, Robert, I think it's good to talk about here. And you're talking to, two con veterans and Joseph, you know so many other cons that I don't know too of over the years, understandably, the studios move into San Diego and Hall H and the phenomenon of the big panel, the big celebrity drops and the news things. Don't overlook the other things. Our buddy Scotty J-Roy at Bombabcast has his midichlorian panel. You're going to get, a lot of smaller, more intimate panels, but with some really substance, going on there. So I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. And I love that that they are celebrating the strong connections between Japan and Star Wars and Japanese culture's influence on Star Wars. That's phenomenal. That it's not just here's a cool city to have it in, but they're actually reflecting it in the events.
Yeah. Robert, do you have any smaller panels that you attended in the past that you enjoyed? Anything that comes to mind?
I've never been, so.
Oh, okay.
No, I've never been. On my bucket list, hoping to make it one day, but
you'll get there.
I always couch con, but I just.
Hey, it's a blessing.
I just wanted to give some advice from someone who's never been to a celebration.
No, I think it's great advice. Look, there's for those who are going for the first time, it can get overwhelming. There's a lot to go on, and then you might just feel bummed. And Joseph, you and I were honest in Anaheim 2022. We missed one of the big panels, and it bummed us out. Quite frankly, pissed us off. You could get caught up in that. The FOMO is real, but that's not the big picture. That's just a part of it. So if you're going, especially first time, slow down, have some fun.
Absolutely. Robert, where are you based? Is Anaheim a more likely location for you to be able to make it to a celebration?
I'm in Oklahoma, so I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
it depends on where I'm at in my life.
Yeah. Understandable.
That time, with money and everything, but
totally.
Yeah. So.
Understandable.
Totally. Well, Robert, we appreciate the call. We appreciate you supporting us here too.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate you guys.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you. Robert, check it in first. Serenity Jane said this earlier, and this has come up in some off-air, because every once in a while, Joseph, you and I have, not just with you and I, but we have off-air conversations with friends. It happens sometimes. Serenity Jane brings up Denver 2029. Now, of course, I think we'll have one in 2027, but 2029 Denver would be the anniversary of it all, where it began in Denver.
Oh, yeah. No, that'd be fantastic. I think somewhere different would be great. I mean, Anaheim is wonderful for us.
Not gonna lie.
I do think it, especially after, I mean, Japan is obviously wonderful and amazing, but harder for a lot of people to get to. So I hope it is somewhere that it is has many options for people in the States to get to.
Yeah, absolutely. Rolling along here, we got some calls maybe coming in here. Though we have a device not connected. So, Aaron, if you're in the queue, showing a device not connected, we'll get in there with that. We have also taken your questions on the cons on Celebration. If you're going to Japan, what are you looking forward to with the convention? But what are you looking forward to just experiencing over there in that wonderful country? And then also we can talk about con and specifically Star Wars Celebration memories. There's many to have, and what news you might come. And also any questions you got. If you got a super chat, that helps us see it towards the end of the show as well. Are you ready for? Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No. Go for it.
I was going to say, we have an Ahsoka panel, too. What are you expecting out of that, Ken?
Oh, yeah, we are. I'm expecting some in-room teases that will be wonderful and, delicious to hear about. And then I'm not expecting an announcement for any, like a season 3 or beyond, but like maybe some widening of the cast. We might see some of that.
Oh yeah, no, that would be great. I'm not. Maybe they'll show some tiny bit of something. Teasery in the room, but I'm not expecting anything big in public. The only thing I expect maybe to go public is some sort of Filoni napkin sketch that reveals something.
Yes. And they're not even in front of cameras yet, right? So it would only be concepts. It might be Rory McCann coming out and barking and drinking.
I hope so. Eating a chicken.
Star
Wars.
So Aaron says no phone call for me. So I booted the ghost that was Aaron in our queue. So if you were calling with Aaron's name, you're booted. But we do have another call here, Joseph, one of our valued ForceCenter friends, Gwen, calling in. Gwen from Gwen Webster Film. How you doing, Gwen?
Good. A little nervous. This is my first time calling in.
We're happy to have you here calling in directly to us.
Yeah. I hope you guys are doing good. Just before I say my comment. I just want to thank you guys so much. You guys have been such a source of comfort and hope for me as I've gone through various things over the years. So just thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Gwen. Very, very appreciated.
Yeah, this, as we always say, community is nothing without all you. So we appreciate you being part of it.
Thank you. And I just wanted to comment about how excited I am to have animation be such a feature of this celebration, because I've been a little grouchy in the past that it felt like animation has gotten a bit of the short shift in the past, and it makes sense because it's in Japan, and Japan highly values animation. So I don't know, it just feels vindicating, and I'm just super excited for whatever the next show is. Give me Asajj, give me Karamal, give me Luke Skywalker. I really don't care. I'm just excited to see animation moving forward.
Absolutely, right there with you on it. And Gwen, I share your at times frustration with the way animation is sometimes viewed. Though we've talked about it here, we get it in some ways. The business side, the perception of it. Our generation, Joseph and I, and Jen's growing up with Saturday morning cartoons and thinking that's all they did, and the art form didn't move beyond that. But what draws you to animation? This isn't an animation versus live action, but what draws you to animation with all of your heart?
It's strange because it's only really come to the forefront for me in the past few years, but I think Star Wars has a lot to do with that, because they've been able to do things in their animated shows that you just can't do in live action. There's a scope and a scale that you can achieve, and I think Star Wars is particularly suited to animation. I've often joked to our friend Jared that I kind of wish that animation would take the lead in Star Wars. I know that's not realistic, but it would be fun for me. And also, there's just been so many wonderful, groundbreaking animated shows, I feel, in the past few years. A big one for me is Arcane over at Netflix. And things like that it's just so amazing to see what they can do in the medium that is just not achievable, or at least is different from live action. And I'm just really excited.
And you had mentioned in chat a little bit what you're looking forward to or hoping, but any more specific expectations for an announcement? Something's coming. What do you want?
One of the things that I did mention was, hoping for an Obi-Wan Satine animated film, which, I don't know, half feels like a pipe dream and half doesn't, because they haven't done anything with it in either novel form or comic book form or anything like that. And that feels like Filoni holding on to that tightly with the hopes of doing it in the future. So, you never know. I'm excited for the potential there. And just like I said, anything animated, I'm here for, and I'll be very excited to keep my Disney Plus subscription for that.
Yeah, I really agree with you on the Obi-Wan Satine romance. I feel like that's something that other writers in publishing would have been like, hey, can we do that? And I feel like if it hasn't been explored yet, there's hopefully a reason why. And I would love them to start doing one-off animated films.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that.
And I'll just mention real quick that the only Star Wars celebration I've been to was Celebration 5, back when they that was when they were they did a panel on season 3 of the Clone Wars, which seems very fitting.
Wow.
But that was back when things were quiet, so I'm afraid I don't have much advice for people going to Celebration now, because it's insane now. I'm hoping to go to the next one they do in the US, which Jared and I have talked about finally getting to meet up and embrace our Star Wars fandom craziness together. So hopefully we get to do that soon.
You will. I believe you will. And you all will keep broadcasting until that, and then you'll broadcast in person, and we'll be glorious, Gwen.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for calling, and thanks for supporting, and thanks for being part of the community, Gwen.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.
All
Ken,
right.
are you excited for Obi-Wan and Satine: The Secret of Corky? Do you want that animated film?
I do. I think it could very well be one of those things that Filoni's he's a man who never forgets, right? He's look at this Barriss Offee thing that took so long to finally happen. And I respect not only that just he's a fan of these characters, but also he's going to wait for the right time, right? And now we have more of the opportunity. So if we get like a Tales of the Blank Volume 3, give me 3 parts. If that, I'd love a book, I'd love a series, I love it all. But if that was what we were to get, like the Corky stuff, everything about it, there's a lot there. There's a lot that I absolutely want it.
The other one, I know I've said this before, but since we're on it, man, if they did animated films, not Tales of, because some stories are too big for just a little short thing. One of the other like major pieces of Clone Wars era canon, and all eras, is the construction of the Skywalker blade. There's been a lot of stuff near it, close to it, but there hasn't been that story of how did that blade get made. Maybe some references to it with Kenobi, I think, in Brotherhood too, but they both need new blades, and that seems, and it's their iconic blades. That seems right for great storytelling.
Absolutely. Alden says, side benefit of this project would be Katie Sackhoff voicing a teenage Bo. She'd probably be such a punk-ass kid. It'd be so fun. Yeah, absolutely. Could be there. What else we got? Is there any merch you two want me to keep an eye out for? Let me know. For me, it's just those egg sandwiches at Japanese 7-Elevens. That's all I hear about. My favorite restaurant. People are like, you got to get over there. And send one back, Molly. Yeah.
Any action figure. If it came from Japan and you both, I would be thrilled.
Yeah. Do you have any white whale figures still remaining off the top of your head?
Some of the white whale ones are they're spendy. I still I still want to find there's that, I think it's the Black Series 3 3/4 line Mace Windu that came with Jango Fett's helmet, but it looks like he's just got his head packaged with him. This is one of my accessories now. Your head.
Your bloody head. I don't have any remaining right now, but you never know. That's part of the fun. You don't know until you get there and you get on the floor.
There's a Jocasta Nu, which I do not want Alex and Molly to look for because it's super expensive, but that's one of my big whales.
Love that there. What do we got? So if you guys have any memories, Star Wars celebrations, more calls. If you're on Patreon, get in the post today. You can get the call link in. We'll take your audio and you can call in. So no queued up right now. So get in there and call.
Right now we have a very important question from Amaranth. Does Bo-Katan's statement that she's the last of her line mean Corky is dead?
I think that's what Corky wants her to believe. This is
secret of Corky.
I didn't tell anyone. I have a hot scoop on this third act of Mando and Grogu. It's the return of Corky. You thought the headline was Rada. That's a distraction. That's how they get you. They're distracting you. It's Corky. He's back.
Corky is going to be played by that Gandolfini boy who's on the Daredevil show, right?
Yes. There it is. Mark my words. Hot scoop.
Yep.
Corky.
Undercover Corky. That's right.
Undercover Corky.
Corky's undercover. I like it. Yeah, that is a really. We have a lot of those lines in Star Wars, like I'm the last of so and so, except for the people over there. But from a certain point of view, I'm the last of. So it's really fun to think of Bo-Katan as like, my whole family got slaughtered, including Corky. Or is it that Corky and I kind of had a falling out? He's in a whole different Mandalorian sect who believes they should never take their pants off. He's a Beskar never nude.
They never nude.
So I can't. So he's dead to me.
And then David Cross shows up, and everything's full circle. Oh, he's the elder of the village of the Nevier Nudes. Maybe he's impersonating Ray Cardine's son, says Amaranth. That's good too.
Yeah,
that's good too.
Get them Clone Wars deep cuts.
There you go. Rich T is this question: the MCU has done / will do Marvel specials like Werewolf by Night, Guardians Holiday Special, and we'll do a Punisher one. I think they should do it for Star Wars, 50-minute hour special about certain things. Short answer: big yes.
Yeah, live action would be great, but also looking outside the Disney umbrella, this has been DC's bread and butter for years, is doing animated films that they make into kind of an event. It's a whole line, and they still release them on physical media. I feel like if they wanted to pursue that model, they could.
I absolutely, and this comes into that different genre conversations. Though I did see on the Star Wars Explained social media that a writer, Alex Segura, talking about the upcoming Marvel comic run, talks about shorter, self-contained stories that might be connected to the big picture, but they all play with different genres. Western, mystery, thriller, all that kind of stuff. So that kind of thought process is out there in the Star Wars creatives world. So I think this is a good way to do it. I just still think and there's a lot to it, but the promise of Disney Plus for me as a Star Wars fan was, you got me. I'm here. I'm paying my $7.99 now, $19.99. I never want to leave. I'll stay on this app all day. If you just give me Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars. That's why I signed up. So do that.
Yeah, and plenty of good Marvel coming. And Alden makes a very good point. One-off specials would be the perfect place for characters with readily available actors. Cal, Iden, K-Vess, etc. Yeah, that'd be super fun.
Give me Iden Versio is still one of those characters I'm not done. Not done with. Yeah, be good. Yeah, cool stuff. Yeah, K. Yeah, and then just in that way, the it's an easier way to say, hey, we're doing a Star Wars horror thriller. Like I think you could do that on a big scale.
Yeah.
For some reason, there's a softer sell that would work on a smaller scale like that.
Yeah, a Halloween special. Yeah.
Rich T says, remember the Ray Sloan craze? I miss it. I've never forgotten the Ray Sloan craze. We got a call lined up if we're ready for our buddy Brady. 8984M, a.k.a. Brady, a.k.a. Kyrie. Check it in. How you doing, my friend?
Hello.
Hey, Brady.
Yeah, I'm running on like 1 hour sleep, so pardon me.
Wait, was it finals? Was it school? What was it?
Yeah. Just submitted a project.
Good for you.
It's just some other center. But yeah.
You presented a project on other center? God bless you. Good.
Yeah, that's the lack of sleep talking.
Well, what's on your mind? Do you have any Star Wars Celebration memories? Have you been to one? I can't remember.
Yeah, I was at Anaheim for one day. It was like a last minute thing. And I think they still had tickets for sale on Sunday. I think the last day. So I was thinking, okay, might as well just go. I'm watching it live, and I'm just an hour away. I'll just take the train, Yeah. I didn't have a car. And yeah, it's a great time. I didn't have anything planned, no panels or anything. I was just walking around getting merch, and I went to the live stage. Oh my God. I think I saw Tamara Morrison. And yeah, he's so charismatic,
He's a character.
Yeah, he runs those panels he's on in a good way, in an entertaining way.
In the episode 2 panel, I think him and Daniel Logan, they just took over that panel. And yeah, that was great.
That was one of my favorite panels to go to in 2022, because back in 2002, there wasn't a lot of excitement among people I knew for Attack of the Clones, and I really loved that one. So it was amazing to be in a room full of people who were like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. It's a shame there's no episode 3 panel
that we know of for now. We'll see.
Oh yeah, maybe.
It's still a little bit of a question mark, but it's also it's harder to put on, maybe harder to get folks out there, even while planning this, but even potentially now it's harder with a lot of stuff going on in the world. So who knows? Maybe we'll get one D23 or something.
Yeah, D23 next year maybe. I don't know.
Could be. What's one piece of maybe news or something you're looking forward to being announced?
I'm looking forward to something that's a complete surprise, something that I was not expecting. I think last celebration, God, I think that was that was 2 years ago now. I think that was Mangold's film. Like we had no idea that was. Actually, I don't know if that was rumored or not, but yeah, that was a complete surprise to me. Or like something like that we thought was, not that we thought was completely shelved. There's like surprise, it's in production.
Is not that you're saying this specifically, but like the Rogue Squadron and reveal or something.
Yeah, something like this, like boom trailer. We have all the special effects.
Guess what? Turns out this entire time Rian Johnson's been making 9 movies. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Taika walks in with his physical script.
Yeah.
The hand to Kathy.
Yeah. That's the panel. Is that he submits the script to Kathy and she gives notes right there. That's the entire panel.
The live read.
The live read. Be great. That'd be great. I'm with you. Some of the best reveals are the things that you don't know are coming, and it's or sometimes the scoop culture takes that impact away, but not hearing anything big yet. And I'm trying to not plug into that so we can all be surprised on that day. But that'd be fun.
And they're able to keep things a secret. Like I remember when The Mandalorian was coming out. I mean, the entire show was basically leaked, except the one major thing, which was Grogu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then the next season, everything was leaked except for Luke.
Yeah.
Right, which, right? Great.
We'll give you Ahsoka. We'll give you Boba Fett. Take it all. It's all a distraction to hide Luke.
Yeah.
I think about that often when that's why the Mandalorian Grogu stuff, like some of those castings that leak out, like, that's a good smoke bomb. It's a good smoke bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome.
They haven't even confirmed the Jeremy Allen White one, right?
Not from StarWars.com. I don't think nothing in that regard. I don't think.
No, I don't think it's been officially confirmed. So maybe that will be the big reveal. Maybe he'll come out in a Rada suit.
That would be amazing.
Yes, just shuffling on stage. Buff
the
Rada.
whole crowd is just chanting "Punky Muffin, Punky."
Oh, I wish I could go.
That'd be fascinating. Well, Brady, thanks for calling in, and I really appreciate calling in, despite the fact you probably need some rest.
Yeah, I also wanted to give some travel tips for some people who've never been to that part of the world.
Oh, please.
Actually, I've only been to Japan once, though that's more than a lot of people. I've been to China, Taiwan a lot, so I do know people get really nervous about the cultural norms and I should be doing this and this. But I think honestly, if you're worried about that, you're probably fine. Just as long as you don't, be rude, right?
Yeah.
I think everyone else will see that you're not from around here, And
yeah.
If you see a tourist in America and they don't say bless you after you sneeze, it's fine, Yeah. And I think as long as you have fun, right? Yeah.
As long as you don't take anything sacred from a display.
Yeah. Don't do pull-ups on at a temple, which actually happened once.
Yep.
Here's a cultural question for people who have been to Japan. I've never been to Japan and can't wait to visit someday. I have had the experience in Europe of Americans speaking at a louder cadence, a louder volume, and our accents just having a little bit more of an attack, and trying to be aware of speaking a little bit more gently in public places. Do you feel like there's any sort of volume or sort of communication tips for Japan?
Yeah, definitely. Just I haven't been in a while, but I do know that if you're in the subway, you probably want to keep things a little quiet.
Okay.
But yeah, I think as long as you're not doing anything crazy, just you
should be hyper aware of your experiences with other cultures, and it's kind of a fun adventure. And London, Paris, I remember being terrified. I was like, I heard they hate us here. I don't know what, and everyone was wonderful. But I have some friends who travel regularly over to Japan, and it's a real wonderful experience every time they go. They love it there. So, but there are those little things there. It doesn't be. What did Lydia say? Definitely a thing to be quiet
on the public. Yeah. This is this. Yeah, I remember in particular, just being in London for a while. I was there for several months when my fiance, now wife, was going to school there, and just trying to be a little bit more soft spoken. But we went to Paris, and we were in a cathedral. I don't remember which one, but it was like, let's all speak quietly in the cathedral. And in fact, now we're going to have a moment of silence. Like multiple Americans going, I wonder why we're having a moment of silence.
What do you think's going on? Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. If we all when Americans when traveling abroad, if we all could not be a Simpsons character would do on a trip. Let's all be okay with that. And JMB is currently out there, right, JMB? Unless I've misunderstood some of your messages. Little things like don't stick your chopsticks straight in the meal. I have heard that before. I want to be, don't use, see, I would mess up on this. Don't use chopsticks to chopsticks transfer of foods. I'd be struggling there.
It's a thing in Japan, but in China, there's two sets of chopsticks. You have one that's for transferring and one for your personal use.
I like that. I like that idea. I like that. No, things to consider. It's going to be fun. I just, I can't wait to hear that Alex Damon got tossed into jail for stealing some rocks from some temple, and it's going to be good.
Oh, that'd be an amazing story. And then busting out of jail.
There we go. Well, Brady, I hope to see you at a celebration soon. 2027 Anaheim, okay?
Yeah.
Let's hope for it. All right, or Chicago, or Orlando. I know we don't want to cut anyone out, but we'll be
or Boston.
Yeah.
Rocks. Says Alex.
Rocks. Oh, there you go. Thank you for calling in, Brady. Appreciate you, buddy.
And thank you for having me.
Wonderful there. Yeah. It's look, and we're a pretty loud country, aren't we, Joseph? So it's good to maybe.
We can be. It's all cultural. It's all cultural. Some of my proudest moments have been it happened in London and in Paris, where I was quiet enough, and I don't know what else I look like enough, where American tourists asked me for directions.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know. Sorry.
Grace speaks French well enough and studies it enough that I just kind of nodded and followed her. But they could tell when the two of us walked in the room. They're like, "There's the smart one, and there's him." It worked very well for me. I just stayed back, stayed quiet.
Brian Ward
rocks.
Lifting rocks.
Alex says, right. I need help escaping Tokyo prisons. Please send me $10,000. Not escape.
Yep.
That there.
Yep.
I love that. Todd Roy, where was that? Todd Roy. The big news celebration will be Gwendolyn Christie being cast as a Jedi in Ahsoka, and we'll get a rematch of the Hound versus Brianna Tarth. I'm all for that. All for that.
Yeah. The spirit of the daughter emerges from Ahsoka, and it's Gwendolyn Christie, and she's pissed. It would be great.
And she's pissed. Couple questions, and we got a call lined up from Simon. Check it in. Simon, who the reason we have I'll talk about when Simon comes on a little more, but the reason we have any detailed list of any databank brawl or show prior to 2022 and beyond is Simon. All right, Dennis, you highlighted this one, Joseph. This is a great one. When the Sith Lord is killed, does it echo across the Force and felt by many Force users? I have to think that when Vader died and Palpatine's original body was destroyed, maybe Ahsoka felt Anakin dying. Oh, what do you think about that? That's pretty deep.
I think when Vader and Palpatine I was going to say fell. When Palpatine got thrown and Anakin finally made a better choice. Yeah, I think that had to ripple out, and I think it happened at the same moment of like, yes, technically it wasn't the absolute end of the Empire, but a moment of celebration, a moment of conflict, decreasing, at least, that maybe the actual death of the Sith, but certainly that moment had to echo out to Force users, to feel something different, for sure.
They all sit in some space spirit room and a bell rings, like there's another one. Does it feel it? No.
Yeah. I also wonder if there's like a thing about just like how in tune you are, because I do love the moment in Phantom Menace right at the beginning when Obi-Wan is sensing something elsewhere, something elusive,
Yeah.
you know, the machinations of the Sith. That some are more attuned to what's going on with the Sith. Like I have to think like Jedi throughout the ages would have been like, I just felt a real shift in it to be like it's the Sith apprentice killing the master. And other Jedi are like, why are you obsessing about unknowable, far away? Like, oh, did you have a bad feeling on Tuesday morning? Be in the present. Don't be so negative. Like, I wonder if they did feel it, but didn't get listened to back in the day.
Yeah. Kiadi Money's like, did you have a flavored ice? That was your problem. It's heartburn. It's heartburn. You should only have ice, flavored ice. Yeah. Well, look at the wheel in our generation. We for one of the first things we see is Obi-Wan having this like, oh man, an entire planet just exploded, and I like that idea that there's definitely some repercussions in the afterlife. People feel it. You understand it. Yeah, it's good to explore.
Yeah, but I do like it that it isn't like just like all Jedi always have this sense everything switch turned on, that it's a choice. And I like the idea that Kenobi is, over his years of being on Tatooine, is his antenna is open, and that's one of the reasons that he senses Alderaan so powerfully, and his connections. And I think it's personal too. If you have a personal connection, you feel it more. I got this question on a Star Wars Counseling Live panel that I did at a convention once, and somebody was really like, all the Jedi can feel everything that everybody's doing. So, how do they concentrate? It's like, I don't think like Mace senses across the galaxy that like Kiadi Mundi has an upset tummy. I think the Jedi that we see sensing things very palpably are ones who have a deep connection with one another.
I agree. Yeah. And I like the antenna, turn it on. Well, look at Last Jedi, Luke kind of reconnecting, and I love playing with that kind of stuff. And it's not never fully understood, but I especially with Vader happening, could have been felt by a lot of spies.
Ahsoka definitely is feeling something different, and I agree with what Alden's saying here. I'm sure you would have felt it when Dooku was beheaded, but that's more of a personal thing. He became a Sith Lord, but he was still his last kiddo. Yep. Yeah.
Indeed. Working through some stuff here. Rich T. Oh, I like this from Rich T. Mon Mothma says many Bothans died to get the info about Death Star 2. I want that story, even if it's just a special. So this is great because this is like this is an old reference that we've been for decades been like, who are the Bothans? And there's some answers that emerge in EU, but it's pretty much left untouched here, to my knowledge, unless there's something that's about it in comics or anything. But this would be one of those like, let's finally do it. We don't want Yoda's home planet or species ever revealed. I'm fine with that never happening, but this kind of little mystery of the Bothans, who or what are they? Let's do it.
I think it's the thing that brings Tony Gilroy back to do a 2-hour special of like, wait, you're telling me there's a civilization of people, at least a group of them, who are doing something brave and were brutally murdered, and Mon Mothma's involved, and it's painful. I'm there.
Yeah. Yep. That's one. And Dennis says that no one cried for Maul. and that's part of the sadness of the Maul character. He just wanted to be loved.
Yeah, and so no one sensed I was alive on a trash planet for 10 years, huh? No one?
Yeah. No one came.
No feelers out for that? Nope.
Love that. Shout out to James Warren. Well, this is lovely. Today's my birthday, and how wonderful to have a live Force Center plus many a cocktail. Cheers from the UK. I hope you're still up celebrating your birthday, James. Cheers indeed. Cheers indeed. Can't wait to get back to your neck of the woods. We got a longer form question coming in from Alden with a super chat, a generous super chat from Alden. We'll get to this one, but let's preview it here so we can start thinking about it, Joseph. Book your dream, possible but not probable celebration panel. Topic, guests, etc. Personally, I've often dreamed of a panel called The Chosen One, so with Hayden Christensen, Jake Lloyd, and Matt Lanter. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so we can dwell on that.
Yeah.
Dwell indeed. But let's take a call here. Simon Huffnagel checking in. Simon, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, guys. How are you?
Great, and I can publicly thank you for those record-keeping things you did years ago.
Oh, please. It was nothing. I mean, honestly, it was done selfishly on my part. I had set out to go back and listen to every single previous Force Center episode to catch up to the present day. But I can't remember the the stream or the podcast app I was using was terrible with records, and so I made an Excel list and was checking them off one at a time. And then you had offhandedly mentioned in a main show like you didn't have your own records, and you were wondering like if you were approaching the 1000th episode, and I'm like, I have that, I can help.
We have the technology. I look at it every week. It's permanently, it's a tab that is permanently up on my other computer, because for the Databank Brawl stuff we release every Sunday, so I refer to it every week.
Thank you so much, Simon.
That's awesome. I'm glad it's gone to good use. So admittedly I've slacked off in keeping my own records, so hopefully you've kept it up in my absence.
One of the things that changed is when we joined Acast, can take a while to go back, but I think they may have search functions now, but they at least have the episode numbers. And that was the big thing. So we know our total published episodes. So we can keep track of that.
That's awesome.
What's on your mind, Sam?
I've just been thinking about celebration memories. I've been lucky to have gone to a few of them over the years. I grew up in Indianapolis, and I was a teenager when the prequels were coming out, so I was lucky to have Celebrations 2 and 3 in my backyard. So I don't remember a lot in the way of panels or anything like that, but I remember the show floor and seeing all the people in cosplay even back then. Like, as a young impressionable teenager and as a burgeoning Star Wars fan, it was just it was formative in a lot of ways. It was really cool. Also got to be in Chicago 2019. Favorite memory there, just being on the show floor when the Rise of Skywalker trailer premiered. So just the collective shock and gasp of everyone standing around each other when Palpatine's laugh comes through the speakers, like it was a powerful thing. And then naturally the whole roll it again, just everyone rolling from that. A lot of fun memories there. And then also was able to be there for Anaheim, which I don't know if either of you remember this, but you mentioned earlier, sadly not getting into one of the big panels. My friend and I were actually right behind you in line, waiting for that same panel.
That's right.
We were so on our phones, watching the Andor trailer that had just gone online for season 1, and grumbling that we're not in the room. Commiserating and shared, I guess, shared misery, for lack of a better word. But
that was
fun
the
in
moment.
Its own way.
The moment we all met the Time Grappler.
Yes.
Who I still need an action figure of.
Yes, agreed.
That was the overflow line, wasn't it? It was like
we were trying to get into the overflow room, and they cut off like right before any of us could get in.
I do remember you. I remember the conversations now. But it was one of those moments where I'm highly acutely aware of my privilege within just life, but also the convention circuits in general. So it was one of those like, all right, there's worse things, but hot damn, am I upset, and I'm trying to contain it.
Yep, agreed. I mean, the rest of the con was great, but a bit of a sour note, but it got better as it went along. So it's fine. I mean, water under the bridge at this point.
Water under the bridge, indeed.
The question I was thinking about. So obviously the big stuff is going to be movies and TV shows, most likely. And God help me, I would love to just have a firm movie release date list and maybe some movie titles to put on some of these projects. But I've also been thinking about publishing. Like, I've been a big fan of the High Republic, and that initiative is wrapping up. So what I was thinking about was there's kind of a bit of a void there now, maybe to fill. So if you had your choice of a new publishing initiative, multi-author, multi-year, where in the saga would you want that to land? Like, what time period, concepts, characters might you want to explore?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think for me, I would love a new character, a new group of characters, maybe set in the High Republic, maybe set in any time, but probably Jedi, because I really love reading about Jedi. And man, would I love, I know this is not the industry, so I'm just talking about my own fantasy. I would love a book a year, maybe by the same author, maybe not. But I so loved keeping up with the characters that I loved in High Republic, but sometimes the amount of jumping around, it would take me a little bit of work to get into the book and then kind of meet a new character, and the cast was so big, which was so beautiful. But there's something that would be so exciting to me about following a handful of like 3 or 4 Jedi and their friends, and they have an adventure, and I wait a year and they have another adventure. So I could have that you make that connection with these people, and then you slowly build on that connection over years.
Is that the name of it? A Jedi and their friends?
A Jedi and their friends. Yeah.
Jedi and their friends.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that I'm kind of craving right now.
A year in the life.
A year in the life. Yeah.
I like that. That's great. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go big here. Let's do it. Let's do Old Republic. Let's do it. Let's do a reworked bang. Get Carpathian in here. Do it. If we're going to do this, let's make it a true big giant initiative and scratch that itch finally of the Old Republic in the modern era.
I could go for that, and that might allow them to be maybe a little bolder with storytelling. I mean, not to say that publishing is any less important than movies or shows, but like it might be easier to take some swings or take some risks there that they might not be willing to if they were like doing a movie necessarily.
Yeah, we could do that. And hey, look, if we aren't going to get Solo 2 in any way, shape, or form, and we have the Lando project out there hanging in the balance, let's not redo. I don't want to be disrespectful to the books that came before, but some Han Solo adventure novels. Give me like a series of 3 or something like that.
Yeah, you know, another character I'd be interested in, and they've dabbled with things like this, but great. A character who lives a long time, like a Maz Kanata, but something focused on them, and you know. I don't need them around every corner in known events, but also like, hey, I just got my new life set up, and this war. I just got my new life set up, and this war.
Love that. Great stuff, Simon. Great memories. Great question. What do you want? What's the initiative you want? Did you say what you want?
I didn't. No, where I go with this, I think, because it feels like we're not going to get it maybe in a movie or show anytime soon. Luke's Academy in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. I know we kind of touched on it, obviously, with flashbacks from the sequel movies and a little bit of the Rise of Kylo Ren comic. But I'm dying to know all about the canon version of Luke's Jedi Academy. Kind of to your point again, not necessarily like not disrespecting the Legends books. Like, obviously, there's a lot there from like New Jedi Order and the Jedi Academy.
You could disrespect those ones for me. I mean, disrespect those.
Yeah, that's a rabbit hole or rabbit trail for another time. But I'd love to see his academy when it's new and it's flourishing and seeing all the students that come in. I just think that would be really cool and something they could again go on for years with tons of new characters. I think that'd be great.
Yeah. I really love that idea. I would love. I have no idea if he wants to do it, but I feel like Charles Soule has he's doing that Kylo Ren comic now, and that is one of the great mysteries to me of the behind the scenes of the last 5, 6, 10 years of that Rise of Kylo Ren comic. Really established a lot about Luke's Jedi Academy and characters, and it always strikes me as weird that it's like, yeah, hey, Charles, sure, go ahead. And I'm glad they let him do it, and I would love to have them. His novels have been some of my favorites too. That first High Republic novel is fantastic, so I would love to see him just run with young Ben Solo.
Yeah, absolutely, that'd be a win, big win for me. Yeah, and look, they're gonna add some books. Yeah, it's gonna be cool. And what I liked about the High Republic is it was a cohesive thing, right? It was this thing we're doing, and everything's tied into it. And I love when the books just kind of blurp out, but I want less blurping out. And to your question, Simon, I think something with great intention would be good for publishing.
Agreed.
Cool. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your work. I appreciate you, letting Joseph and I be angry in line. And
hey, it was a weirdly fun shared experience just to meet people that I had followed for years. So
I love it.
Yeah, it was a great time. And thanks for letting me chime in. It was great to be a first time caller finally.
Yeah, great thought, Simon. Thank you.
Thank you, Simon.
Simon mentioned something that I think is important, Ken, that we haven't talked about is the future slate of Star Wars at Celebration. Now, I'm not expecting like the Marvel type, here's all the things. But one thing we haven't talked about is Kathleen Kennedy confirmed the Sean Levy movie in that interview. that she did,
Right.
setting things straight. She confirmed that it was next after Mandalorian and Grogu. So I really wouldn't be surprised to hear a title, a general, blurb of what it's about. Kathleen Kennedy brings him out on stage. How do you feel about that?
Because again, with the lack of what would they call a showcase panel, if you could find a way to do it, even if it's in the closing ceremonies, right? Guess what? In 2027, we are going to be in Burbank. Joseph and Ken are going to be really excited. Star Wars Celebration Burbank. Get ready. Also, here's some stuff coming. I would love the clarity. I think I don't want to create the expectations and hoopla. And all the things have been documented about Lucasfilm and the announcements, and some of it true, some of it reasonable to critique, and others just it's a whole hoopla. But I think there could be some use for some clarity in the right way.
Yeah, I got distracted when you said Star Wars Celebration Burbank, and now I just want to see Jedi at Smokehouse.
I mean, could you imagine just the greatest, Dave Filoni at Wood Ranch? It'd be great.
Yeah, watching somebody trying to eat cheese bread through their Bossk mask, beautiful.
Yeah, just read the back. Regarding some of the publishing stuff that Brian Ward says is a series of novels about pod racing. Yes, all in on that. Absolutely. Molly David says, I want something like Wonder Years or Boy Meets World or Freaks and Geeks, but with Padawans and the Jedi Temple somewhere between the High Republic before Episode 1. Yes. What would you do if I used the Force attitude?
Oh my
yes.
God. Yeah. Freaks and Geeks, man. Yeah. The Jedi who is not doing well, isn't studying because they just want to be a drummer. Man. I love.
But my question to you is could we translate a lot of things into Huttese and have popular songs in that series, just like Freaks and Geeks and Wonder Years do so well? That's what I would love. I got behind chat. Oh, wow. I was like, not a lot of people are in chat. Dave's got a question answer here. That'd be great. Yes. Sean Room, who we had many drinks together with in London, says, I think announcing one or two of those during closing ceremonies would be cool to end it. But I miss yapping about it with those things all with friends all weekend. But you'd be in the airport. You'd be on the airport being like, whoa, did you that thing? No? Okay. Maybe not. Alice Smithy says, Padawan smoking Spice J's. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Huang's coming. Put away your Spice J.
He has olfactory senses. He can smell lightsabers, I'm sure.
Love that there. Ken Plume checking in. Thank you, Mr. Plume. Shout out to yous too, and Taika's movie being Pelly. Just the Pelly story. I could go. How she got the pitch rights.
Man, I am actually. I don't know what, if anything, will ever happen with Taika's movie since he's taken his time.
Sweet time.
But man, I mean, he has such a fascinating swing between the. I love that he likes to tell deep stories and play with the comedy, and I know for a lot of people, the balance of the comedy and the depth in Love and Thunder didn't work. And and yes, some of the comedy swings are big, but that movie's about some deep leap. So if it is about Pelly, it's going to be about her like facing deep moral decisions.
Yeah, that's the thing with him. I know there's those little fears that might pop up even when it was announced. But he is a great example of the poignancy that can be found behind comedy, even high concept comedy. I do trust him on that. I'm just curious. I wonder if we'll ever see it, but it is one thing that I am I can't pin down what it might be, and I love that.
Yeah, plug for Alden's show back a while ago. We discussed on air, but Love and Thunder is legitimately a Star Wars movie, says Alden. It has all the themes. It really does. I'm bummed out that the tone balance in Love and Thunder drives a lot of people away from it, because I think it's a great film, and Natalie Portman does a fantastic job with deep, important themes.
Do you think so? let's see. We got some. This made me think here. Now, just straight predictions here. Get your calls in too. Sorry, I sound like a radio DJ, but get your calls in. We're here for about another half hour. If you're a Patreon supporter, you know the link. So Gwen checks back in. Says, I can't believe I did mention on my call that I dream of more Sabe content. Somebody tell Keira Knightley that her character is more than Natalie Portman's double. Yeah, there's probably a lot more to that story of why Kira blocks out her experience on Phantom Menace. But beyond that, there's been some wonderful Sabe storytelling. Not all of it hit for me, but just her being back in the the novel stuff was great. I love the E.K. Johnson stuff with her. The comic stuff was didn't hit for me as well as maybe it did for others. But I just love having that character back. Absolutely explore Sabe and Handmaidens. There's much more there.
Yeah, no, I would love that. Yeah, and I haven't finished that run of Vader, so I don't know kind of where they left off with Sabe, but I hope that Vader run didn't take all of the room, because it would be great to tell more stories of her.
Yes, indeed. Well, I was just going to say, just an out. Let's put some Vegas odds down, Joseph, and see if we'll bet here. I know there were the rumors, and I'm not. I try to avoid scoop culture, but sometimes it finds us and whatnot. But Natalie Portman, Padme, Ahsoka, season 2. I know there's those thoughts. It was denied by her team. I trust that until it's proven otherwise. But that would be a big announcement, as they, hey, here's what's going on, and yes, Ewan's going to get to put back on the armor, and it's going to be great, or he gets to do it for the first time, whatever. Hayden's back. We know this stuff, but also we're going to go revisit this character that seems to be danced around too much for my taste in Star Wars, Padme. I'm willing to put some money down on it if you are. $4 bucks.
I would say 100% that Filoni would like to do it. He's got, I think, opportunities to do it with the world between worlds sort of reality that he's been establishing. It is also, wouldn't it be nice for Ahsoka to get closure on her friend Padme? Would be absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I would absolutely love that. And yeah, I think Natalie Portman has certainly been very friendly to her Star Wars history. Yeah, I think that would be great. Sorry, I was just thinking about obviously Filoni wouldn't do this, but Ahsoka trying to understand what truly caused Padme to pass away.
Yeah.
But I mean, but yes, Padme understanding what her children became.
Yes,
would be extremely tear motivating. For me. And yeah, I also just think, for Filoni, I think since he has with the Clone Wars show done so much for the prequel era, spent time with the Padme character, was dressed up as Plo Koon, I think he is probably the person on the team who appreciates that Padme is, in my opinion, the biggest character who has gotten the least respect.
100%. And even in Clone Wars season 7, he threw in, I say threw in, but that's not exactly what he did. He put in some beats with her because he knew he didn't have enough of her in the story as planned. And that shows, and I get that sometimes just reality. But he, like I said, he doesn't forget. And it's just been, even in Kenobi, where it made sense that they could not say her name to Leia and everything, just like Bail and Obi-Wan having an aside of like, she's really like Padme. She really is. Like, I'm down to the point where I just kind of want that stuff even.
Well, that speech that Kenobi gives to Leia, and I think he can't say her parents' name. Right. But that is, the greatest honor, and the way he eulogized them to Leia.
Yeah, be good. So good stuff there. A lot of great stuff coming in. We got that Alden question when you're ready to tackle. I don't know if I'm ready to tackle her. David McKay says, with Star Wars Hunters wrapping up, which, it is, what video games do you want to see? I personally lose track of what is rumored to be in the works or what is reported in the works. I know there's the, Eclipse one that I, hopefully maybe doesn't happen or things get worked out, but I don't even think that if that happens, it would be for years. So, I don't know. Other than the fantasy ones, we always have talked about pod racing games. Manage Bright Tree Village. I'd love that one. Just a role playing game. I don't know. Where do you go with games?
I think my deepest, most honest answer is the Star Wars video game I want is the one who will make Force Center fans the happiest. Because I'm not playing a ton right now. In a way, a really great Star Wars game coming out is kind of torturous. I really want to play Outlaws. That looks fantastic. That would have been my absolute go-to in my heavier gaming days. So I think then honestly, I would say, like, for myself, something mobile that's a little bit easy to play a little bit of every day and step away. It's not a video game, but you know what? Star Wars Duolingo. I can learn Huttese. It's not a video game, but that's pretty close. But a turn-based thing that's less rush, something like that, where maybe like I would love like a pod race game where like I make my picks, whatever, blah, 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 and then at the end of the day, I see how they did.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
That'd be good. Outside of the dream ones we've talked about in the past, and I'm having a lot of fun. I got to Outlaws late. Just picked it up again this week. There's a repetitive nature to it that doesn't draw me back right away, but once you're in the world there's a lot of fun just going around rainy Akiva or Tatooine and exploring, and it's been a very fun game. I want to be clear, but it does get slightly repetitive for me. But the things about just playing Kessel, Sabak, and 898 for him mentioned it. Just like I want that as just a game too. Kessel Sabak is just it's in the game. But I would love it on a mobile game. I'd be up till 2 a.m. just playing Sabak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, the Sabak is dangerous. When I did start to play the Knights of the Old Republic game on my iPad, I got distracted by that card game. I can't remember what that's called. I'm sure. We have multiple calls from both Molly and Sean Room for an Animal Crossing.
Get those
cozy game.
That would pull Jen Landon. She'd be our top correspondent on that every week, huh?
Yeah, just building your weird little house.
That's what I'm saying. See, Molly's saying they need a cozy game. Grogu and Mando helping build their neighborhood in Navarro. That's great. This is why I want a Bright Tree Village game. You become chief of the village, and then you have to manage, the supplies, and do you get food and defend yourself? Do you form a warring party and go get the Gorax? All that kind of stuff. Just a little mobile game. I'd be up doing that one for late hours.
I don't remember which publishing story had the thing about Yoda kind of having a summer tree and a winter tree on Dagobah, but man,
Yoda from a certain point of view, yes.
Yoda just having like, I'm going to set up my different trees to live in on Dagobah. I'm going to move.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be amazing.
My Qui-Gon cave to honor him.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, absolutely would work for me. Just a little point and click game, moving around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love that. Farm Simulator, Ewoks, RPG, says Ben Wellington. All that would work for me. It's a great question, David. Lydia, who we met in London, my first Star Wars celebration was London. Show was amazing. The comedy show in the pub basement was a major highlight. So, such wonderful times. Looking forward to making more great memories this time. Oh, you got to report back to us here.
Yeah.
What we'll probably do, I've got to remind myself, we'll set a specific Star Wars Celebration Japan Discord channel. And I'd love for you all who are in our Discord through our Patreon page, just pop in your pictures. Also, maybe a way to communicate if you're all doing any meetups out there. We'll miss you, but we want to see you all having fun.
Mm-hmm. Rich T is choosing chaos, and I like it. A new pod racer game where you can race or play as a Duskin that is around the course, taking shots at the racers as they go by. I just spent all my time going like, I gotta hit Team Toe. My beloved Team Toe.
That'd be great. I'll never stop talking about the pod race game, but I almost have to stop annoying people. But it's a no-brainer for me. It's a no-brainer. A career mode in pod racing. Brian,
you know what I would like?
Move.
Move milk. Oh, that.
Okay.
Here's what I actually want. I want a version of the GoldenEye for the N64 without the graphics updated. It's the exact same mechanics, but it's Jedi, but it's Star Wars. You're wandering around, with your different cool blasters, having. And you can turn it to slappers only.
Yeah. So it's a fight. So it's like a four-way fight if you want it.
Yeah. Or you can just play through a mission. But that would be an amazing intersection of loves.
That'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that. And I would want it to not be online, so that if you and I want to play it together, I have to go over to your house with Chips Ahoy, Dr. Pepper, and pizza, and we have to sit there and play it with wired controllers.
Yellow Sith Eye N64.
That'd be the only way to do it. We still got some time left, about 20 minutes or so left of the show. If you want to call in, you're on the Patreon page.
Sorry.
Get there. No, get there. And Ben. Okay.
Ben Wellington says Super Smash Brothers Melee with all the characters ever. I know there's been various fighting games, but I want to fight Darth Maul as Ben Solo. Yeah, and especially with just like that ridiculous mechanic of Super Smash Brothers, I love so much of your percentage going up and up and up, and the higher it goes, the farther you fly when you finally get hit. That so cool.
I'm in it. I didn't play Smash Brothers, so I'll catch the vibe once I get there. That's amazing.
Yeah, that would it rival GoldenEye for in person.
Yeah,
multiplayer.
I was too busy drinking Dr. Pepper because yes, JMB, Dr. Pepper. Though I actually prefer Mr. Pibb. That's the Del Taco fan in me. Let's see. Should we try to tackle this Alden question here?
Yeah. I think I have a thought.
Okay. I'll reset it. Book your dream, quote, possible but not probable celebration panel. He wants to do one called The Chosen Ones with the Anakins. He's left Sebastian Shaw out of there. I get it. Maybe the ghost of Sebastian Shaw can come back. Yeah. Okay. So you have a thought. Hit me.
Perhaps controversial. I want a really good interviewer to do a one-on-one panel with J.J. Abrams about, why Star Wars matters kind of thing. That might happen down the line. I know, a lot of people really like The Force Awakens with the caveat of too familiar in parts. Obviously, opinions wildly divergent on The Rise of Skywalker. But I think J.J. Abrams is very smart. I think he understands Star Wars, and I think he cares about Star Wars. And I would love for someone to do an in-depth interview with him and really draw him out. Not just, hey, you're doing the circuit and you kind of need sound bites to publicize your film.
Yeah.
But a real interview with him on the stage of Star Wars Celebration. So it's presented as like, here is one of the people, like his work or not, who gave us Star Wars, who had a massive impact on Star Wars.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Ken Plume, I'm going to say something controversial to my friend Ken Plume. I want the same panel with Rian Johnson. I would argue it isn't needed. It would be fun. It'd be great. But Rian is very eloquent and has given many, many, many interviews where he gets into the kind of things that I'm interested in. But I don't think that J.J. Abrams has given those kinds of interviews. And I think people don't. I think Rian Johnson is an amazing artist, and I think he will go down as like one of the great filmmakers, period. No negativity towards Rian Johnson, but I think he is treated by everybody like he is. He's an auteur. He's an auteur and a successful filmmaker, and he's beloved. So he gets asked the kind of questions that you're asked when people love you. A lot of people don't like J.J. Abrams, and he's the butt of many jokes. He is Mr. Lens Flare. He is Mr. Mystery Box, and we don't get to hear him beyond that. And I think we have got to hear Rian Johnson beyond that because people admire him and love him, and which I totally agree. I don't know why. I don't know why this is the thing that on a perfectly calm chat got me all fired up. But I'm with you, Ken. Ken Plume. I didn't. I'm sorry if I came off hot there, but it's not about Rian Johnson. It's about people don't give J.J. Abrams credit for his contributions, and they don't ask him the kind of questions they ask Rian Johnson.
I understand what I actually, and Ryan's, he's been out there. Ryan's been, even our buddy Alden had a great interview with him. He was on Instagram in the early days answering questions, and JJ's got the approach I admire to a lot of things in life. I'm not going to follow anyone on social media, if maybe one person. Maybe he follows Gracie now. I don't know. He's a stoic wall when it comes to this stuff. And I think someone, Daryl in chat says, I think the best we got from was the commentary on the Force Awakens Blu-ray. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I am such a big fan of what he and Terrio had to say. I think Terrio spoke too much, and I think it was just like, hey, maybe sit this round of press out, Chris. I just don't think they got the respect for understanding what they were doing. I really don't. It's been a long contention of mine. So yeah, that's a great panel. I would like, Alden said improbable. What did he say? Dream. This is possible, but not probable. Okay, this isn't even possible. It's not probable. I want Kathy to one day she will announce her retirement. Whether she stays on to produce and everything, we've got that answer. She'll do retirement, and I want her to sit down. And she loves and trusts Ash Crossan, so Ash can sit down. And then just run through every rumor going back to 2012 to now. And just have Kathy go, nope, true, not true, nope, yeah, we did have that, yep, oh, it was a Boba Fett movie, yep. Lord Miller didn't take my notes. Yeah. Just run all the way down the list. And then that's the panel. That's all I want. Yeah. Other than that, you know what? I would love to have Harrison Ford sit down with like Alden Ehrenreich and just do a solo on Solo.
Oh, solo on Solo would be amazing. Some follow-ups here. 8984M. I really wish someone could dig into JJ's insight on pacing and action. It's such a misunderstood skill, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing that I'm thinking about, because like Rise of Skywalker is so obviously a choice to say, hey, Rian Johnson did the middle chapter where we get deeper, we get more introspective, and he knocked it out of the park. And I'm following the spirit of the trilogy with Return of the Jedi and with Revenge of the Sith, and I'm bringing it back to the pulpy and to we're building to the big conclusion. That's a choice, and that's the understanding of pulp and adventure serial structure and how important that is to Star Wars. But nobody's asked J.J. Abrams things like, what did you watch any adventure serials? How do you feel about them? What do you think the legacy of them is? How did your work in television translate to anyway. Yep. Ken Plume also says it's all good, Joseph. $2. This is the first time I've been given $2 to be assured that I was not too aggressive in my opinion. Thank you, Ken Plume. I love you, my friend.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's other thoughts out there for dream panels and stuff like that, but you're right. It's the folks that don't talk as much, and Harrison has been way more open. I think he's been wonderfully honest about stuff post Dial of Destiny, and I absolutely love. Number one, love that movie, but also love Harrison being like, yeah, I asked for this. I asked for this kind of story. I wanted to do this kind of story. Shit happens. It didn't work, but having him look at Star Wars now, because we've got a lot of interviews where he did speak on it. Empire of Dreams, you and I reference all the time. It's there, but now as he enters, the reality, sadly, the final chapters of his time here, I'd love for him to share what it meant now and what it means to him now.
Yeah, great stuff. You know what else I want? I have, I know that some people have bemoaned that when Disney came along, they kind of put the kibosh on some of the more, let's just have fun and be weird panels.
Yes.
And a little bit of it's a party and let's do a weird game show, or let's do a one-person show. They haven't done as many of that. So here's the other one I want is there's the old game show Hollywood Squares. I would like Coruscant Squares, where a physical structure is built on stage, and you've got all of your sauciest performers and writers You know, Tim Ware is probably the center square.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe not the center square, but you know, you really get, you know,
No,
the people who speak their mind. You know, Ewan's probably the center square.
Ewan center, but here, so if it's done in a true Hollywood Squares game show fashion, we'd have to have 2 contestants. I'd want George Lucas to be one of the contestants. Because if he's having, you know, if I remember the format of Squares right, host asks the square a question, and then the contestant have to say if they think the celebrity's right or wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we're doing a panel, it's this format. I want, because George wouldn't know.
No, actually, no. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Love that. I love that. Yeah, bring back some fun.
Yeah, and hey, well, while we're talking about actors and the sequel trilogy and everything, John Boyega, Daryl Cooper says John Boyega is having a moment right now. He said recently he has realized how much fans. Oh, it went away.
Sorry, I was trying.
That's okay. How much fans like and look up to Finn. Didn't realize that before. It would be great to have him. Yeah, I think time doesn't. Time and perspective is great for. I think we've seen that again and again for these actors who are just like in the eye of this tremendous storm.
Yeah.
It's not just about that movie. It's about all of Star Wars. It's about their identity as actors. It's about the future of their career. It's about issues of representation for a lot of these actors. Like, man, that's a lot to sit with and deal with. And I think time has got to give you so much perspective.
Yeah, his current position on Star Wars, if there's some being open to it, I think, you know, going forward, you know, him and Poe are 2 key characters to the story, and without a doubt, it's a job, it's a reality. He was fighting for some bigger causes beyond just the character of Finn, and having important conversations about that. I remember at the time kind of feeling, and maybe even we said it here on the show, but just like, I hope one day he gets to understand that what he did do was pretty powerful. I love hearing that. Hey, look, even Daisy wrapped it up like, cool, great, I'm done. Lightsaber dropped. I'm out of here. Mm-hmm. All it takes sometimes is a month, a year, 2 years to take a breath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and it's all about relationships and trust. You know, I think it's all about who are they working with, the executives, directors, writers, and is there a trust? Is there a relationship there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Jan B says, maybe my favorite sci-fi character of all time, portrayed by Leonard Nimoy. So hated his character, he wrote a book called "I'm Not Spock" and wanted to be killed off, only to come back and go on the character. Yeah, absolutely.
It is, and later wrote a book called "I Am Spock." I always wanted it to be.
There you go.
Titled, actually, you know what? I am
Spock.
So embraced it down the line. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. No, it's reality. I've never experienced that's like Cyclone, but at the peak of Schmodown, like if you asked me a movie trivia question, I was like, get the F out of here. I don't care anything about the trivia. I don't care anything about this. No, now we missed the groups there. It happens.
Yeah.
So
I want to share this thought on Finn from Ben Wellington. It was very great for my brother and I to see Finn wielding a lightsaber in The Force Awakens. Does he stand a little too hard for Rey? Sure. But his vigor and spirit in that first film was palpable. I really agree with that. It's just so much energy and depth, man.
No, like I said, there's a lot of wonderful what ifs out there that I'd love to hear and that could have been exciting, or, ooh, that's a good idea. But I think what was there was important. So,
yeah, I kind of want to revisit Force Awakens and Finn's great arc in light of the time that we're in now, where Finn has that moment of like, it's too much. They're too powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Just run. And turns it around. And it's a story that we could all hear these days.
I agree with that. Aaron Moth's checking in. There are a number of returning studios involved in Visions 3. What are the odds some of the stories from Vision 1 continue in Vision 3s and then continue past Visions 3? I'm really bad at remembering all the Vision stories, but I know the Ronin one's coming back, right? Mm-hmm. The voice actor said that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that's it, yeah.
Yeah, and I think I can never remember the name of it. I think it's The Elder. I admit sometimes I like that one because it feels a little bit more like it could be in canon, but it's got all of this influence and yeah.
Yeah.
But I really like the performance in that one, and I like the vision of this dangerous older man as a Sith. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, no, that's it's a great spot to announce more Visions 3. I think it's a good idea. For more to continue. It's been fun, and I admit I don't spend a lot of time with them and revisit them as much as maybe even I want to, but there's some great Star Wars stories, and the purpose behind it. That's one of those, like, it's not just a Disney Plus thing, but that's one of those. We have this thing called Star Wars. We have a place where you can just put things out and keep doing stuff like this.
Gwen mentions the Ninth Jedi. I know a lot of people are really excited for that one. I remember loving that one. I haven't revisited it in a little while, so I'd really like to do that as well.
Yeah, beautiful. Very generous super chat coming from our friend Lydia. Thank you, love y'all. We appreciate that, Lydia. Very nice. Thank you. We're here for about 5-6 more minutes. Then I got to start making some spaghetti. It's a big night. Gonna have some spaghetti. So if you've got a question, got a super chat, got a call. Not as many calls today. That's cool. Sometimes you just gotta sit back and enjoy the show. But if you want to call in, we've got a few more minutes left here. If you are a patron supporter, look for the post that went out today about 2:00 our time, and you'll find the link to call into the show.
Oh yeah, a couple of people mentioned this, but Aaron, I want to see more from the Village Bride. Yes, that was the one I was trying to remember. I haven't revisited that first season in a while, but I really like that one.
Oh, yeah. I have to admit, I have trouble remembering. There's been so much. I didn't spend as much time with them as I wanted to. I do remember La Pinocho. That is yeah. Amaranth couldn't get into it because of the yelling, but I do remember La Pinocho.
Understandable. Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot about Village Bride. So good.
No, they're all good. It's and I love that band one a lot, just because what it means. But yeah, and it was just so different.
Yeah, the vision of a lightsaber hilt as a mic in that art is powerful. Is a powerful way to fight back too.
Yeah, very important. Very important. The Dancing Spy, Rich T says from season 2. You and I both love that one. That was I could live in that one again. I could see more of that story. Yeah,
that one is one I felt like did somebody tap into my wife's mind? Like it's I love it, and it's so it reminds me of her. Sorry, I had to reveal my wife was a spy.
she's a rebel spy. Everybody.
She told me not to say on YouTube, but.
No one listens to YouTube anymore. It's all right.
Yeah.
That's good. Final thoughts here as we start to round down here. We did favorite memories too. We've talked about them over the years, and you and I have a ton of shared memories. But anything that jumped to mind for you? And I know we're both going to miss it this year. It's going to be sad for us.
Yeah.
Boo-hoo! But we've had so many chances in the past. So anything jump to mind?
Roll It Again is probably the biggest. But you know what? I will mention 2015 Anaheim. I only went for one day. I met up with a friend there. And then I also met up with our friends from Star Wars Minute, Pete and Alex, and met up with Chris Taylor, who had written the How Star Wars Conquered the Universe book, which I think is a phenomenal book. And went around the exhibits in particular. I remember going around with Chris Taylor and seeing the various little bits of information just on like little kiosks that revealed names and things from the Force Awakens.
Yeah,
it was just this very low key. Like I think that might have been the reveal of the term the First Order. That was just in the display, and it was just so like we'll just put it here in front of the fans. It's not a big announcement. There's not a reveal. It's not a exciting PowerPoint. It's just here on the convention floor, and the nerds will run with it. And it reminded me of the way whispers would be spread on the playgrounds or in the bars.
It was very much like that. And yes, I think things were on social media. I think that's how a lot of us knew. But I got there the day I think Friday. I know the Thursday was the big reveal panel and everything, and I was coming back from Vegas, and I was just so antsy. So I got there maybe Thursday night, whatever it was. But it was like that. It was like that. Have you seen it? You got to go up to the display. No, it's on the second floor. It says first store. Like, it truly was a whisper network. You're so right, and that was part of the fun. And even then, even though that was a big convention, it's 10 years ago. It seems small now compared to what we got now. It was something very organic about that reveal. I loved.
And I think Ray's speeder was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And wasn't it still? Was it still Kira?
It might have been.
Someone checked me on that. I thought, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what was funny is even though you and I knew each other and worked together on Jedi Alliance, Force Center was still months away from happening. So that's another lifetime ago.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Bonkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple kind super chats here.
Yeah, Ken Alden says Kira's speeder label.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome. Bill Rudd, late to the party, but extremely excited for whatever big announcement. Ahmed Best teased earlier this week. Maybe Keller and Beck is joining Grogu and Mando on the big screen. So, yeah, I know you've been lost and edited. You get to spend some time with his announcement on Instagram at all? Did you see this?
I didn't see that. I did not see that.
He came on there and basically summed up, said like, hey, I'm looking for anyone in Japan who is a thrifter, a styler, an artist, anything who wants to style me because I'm going to be in Japan for a big announcement. And he's like, the excitement is just bursting through. And he put this out. He goes, you'll be hearing from me. I'll DM you. Like, it's going to be good. Like, hey, and I can't wait to announce this. So a lot of speculation. I think the easy prediction is Keller and Beck. But Joseph, I am pushing for something we are on board for here. I think if I don't want to speak for you ever, of course, but I think we're going to see Keller and take Grogu to Jar Jar. I think that's happening.
I think we are going to see the double best.
Yep.
I think we're going to see Keller and Beck deliver Grogu to Jar Jar, and then without Jar Jar dying. See, the interesting thing to me is like we know that Grogu, maybe he's got a few happy moments there, like when Ahsoka's going through his memories, like it's mostly dark, Yeah. And like if Jar Jar is there, I think they're going to honor him by being true to who his character is. But also, I think maybe give him a little gravitas, So like, I don't think it's going to be like he trips and drops Grogu and loses him, Nope.
It's going to be a seasoned Jar Jar, and he goes on.
Yeah.
We know exists in canon, unless they want to change the Wendig stuff. But yeah, I mean, at the very least, Keller and Beck being there and some sort of flashback, which speaks to something that I know you've spoken of eloquently here before, that this is a movie about the Mandalorian and Grogu, and there's so much on the table with Grogu left and yet to explore.
It's literally the thread that is started in season 3 in particular of like, hey, to truly fully be a Mandalorian, you have to face your past, you have to face your trauma, and I know you don't like to, and a close-up of his little face with the little teeth going, I don't want to think about this. How the armor hammers out my Beskar. Man, I hope it is a whatever darkness he went through in the past is being forced to confront in the present, which would make sense. If I don't want to get, this is what I want for Ahmed Best's announcement is Keller and Beck and Jar Jar, or just Keller and Beck, and we can be surprised by Jar Jar.
Right.
But I also think it is possible that, hey, maybe Keller and Beck is going to be in Tales of the Jedi season, however they number that. Like, I'm also, or maybe Ahmed Best is writing a Keller and Beck comics book or whatever. Like, there are other, that's the one I want. And that's the one I will be, wishing for in the Force. But I also want to prepare myself for, like, I want to be happy for the man if it's not the big announcement.
Yes. I think it's very wise and responsible. You're doing a good thing here. There's so many options. Absolutely. That said, I will cry tears of joy when that man gets to return to a Star Wars film. It's been a wonderful journey already to see him back. And as far as the Jar Jar thing, the reason I think it's realistic in the story, it's realistic because I know the cruiser he takes him to is Nubian, right? Yes, Nubian. But it wouldn't just be a simple gimmick, right? Like, I don't think Ahmed would come back. Now, he's come back for Dark Jar Jar, Dark Force, Dark Side Jar Jar. He came back eventually, Clone Wars, all that stuff. So, he loves to explore it. But it would be, like you said, it would be done in the right way. And He loves that guy. He loves that character. He knows the importance of it now. He knows the technological achievement that JoJo was. So a chance to really come full circle. It's realistic, but you're right. I'm trying to brace myself for impact of just coloring.
It would be so powerful, and as Amaranth is saying in the chat, and other people have said as well, like, yeah, it makes sense for, like, he's good with kids, right?
Yes.
And friendly to the Jedi. And man, I would love to even just get a peek into, what Wendig was playing with in the Aftermath books of how is Jar Jar reacting to everything that is happening in these, early Imperial days.
I love that. Though Bill Ruth says, what I think me and Plume were joking the other night when we were playing Fortnite. The big announcement is just more Jedi Temple Challenge, which would be great. Scott Bromley could get back in there. It'd be great.
It's back.
It'd be great. It's back, baby. But I want it to be, instead of kids, which it should be kids, but it's Star Wars podcasters and YouTubers, and it just turns into fist fights. It's just a cage fight. It gets too serious fast.
Can you work together? No.
Sorry. No. This person tweeted something to me in 2017. I'm going to kick their ass right here. That's not the Jedi way. They're fighting. Oh, I was going through a lot of old photos, and wow, the times have changed, but it was a lot of memories. 2017 Orlando was great, and Chicago stuff. I was just sharing the story on the Bombadcast the other night, Joseph. Just that night we all got stranded, and it turned into a lot of fun. Yeah, I'd walk to the ring with Molly Damon. I'd be your cornerman. I'd sit there with the towel and put the mouth guard in. Let's do this. We do have one other call before we go. If you're ready, sir, we'll take a call from our buddy Brennan Mystical Mar. Check it in, host of the Page Turner podcast. Brennan, how you doing, buddy?
Doing good, Joseph. Always good to see you.
Good to see you, Brennan.
What's on your mind?
Well, I tell you that the time I got to meet the two of you in Anaheim was amazing. I mean,
wonderful.
It was the two of you. It was Alex and Molly. One of these days I'll meet Jennifer. One of these days. But she was off doing very important things. So
she was working for Disney Plus that weekend.
I unfortunately will not be able to attend this celebration.
Okay.
Getting to Japan would be very difficult for me, as you can.
Yeah. Well, we're hoping for 2027, a chance for you to drive on down.
Maybe a giant slingshot, to shoot me across. No, but I think the one that I'm looking forward to is the animation panel. I really want to know where they're going next.
Do you have a preference, a hope for where they go next?
Well, like a lot of people, I'm into the whole Luke's Jedi Academy thing. But I mean, there's so many ways they can go, and I think that the reason I am excited is their animation has been so successful.
Yeah.
In terms of quality, but also in terms of it's the one that gets the least amount of internet yelling and hate.
That's true.
I agree with that. Like, the Bad Batch can just relatively quietly do its thing. And there's some people who have a filler episode or whatever, but in general, it gets to be a little bit more of a love fest, doesn't it?
It does, and I'm interested to see where they go. I've been wondering if, since this celebration is in Japan, are we going to get an anime-style animated series? Like a long-form series, not just visions.
I think it's possible. I think
I like visions.
Yeah. I think an animated movie in that fashion could work. Hell, I think a live-action, Japanese only language film could work as well too. Something like that. Something different and bold and brave. Yeah, I think it'd be good. It's a place to do it.
That new Afro comic has got a little bit more of a manga style to the art. I thought.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it would be kind of interesting if they decide to do that, but. Also, I think that it's likely that we might get not a trailer, but maybe a teaser for The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe one of those behind-the-scenes sizzle reels type.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Maybe literal sizzling as Jon Favreau cooks for the whole
Yeah.
cast and crew.
Yes.
all I
Oh
want.
man, now I want a grilled cheese sandwich.
That's all I want. That's all I want. I just want the promotion is him cooking and talking about it.
He's just cooking away and like, Jar Jar's in it. Cooking.
But I tell you, April is going to be quite a month.
It is.
Mhm.
It is.
And then in May, I go to Disneyland again. So
Good for
Oh,
you.
wonderful.
I'm
Congrats.
taking my nieces and nephews to go another day.
Wow.
Oh,
and I
well,
told
great.
my brother, don't go into Galaxy's Edge without me.
No,
I have
absolutely.
to be the one to show them.
Good.
Yep,
Take some
yep,
photos, take some
yep.
video.
So
Brandon-
it's going to be an exciting time.
It is indeed. We'll talk about it as we get closer to it for sure. A lot going on. The Light and Magic Part 2, Andor, all the stuff. Brennan, thank you. One of our sweetest memories was meeting you in Anaheim as well.
Oh,
So
thank you.
we'll do it again. Okay.
All right. Catch you later.
Thank you,
Brennan.
Brennan. Brennan Mystical Mar. Check it in there. All right. I think we're about done, but full episode today. Anything on the table for you, sir?
I want to be sure to thank Lydia Osmo for the kind super chat. Ken, you might have done that, but I was looking elsewhere.
Yes, good highlight there. Absolutely. We'll see. And we haven't even processed Andor coming, let alone a 3-part doc Light Magic with Joe Johnston directed. I can't wait for that too.
Yeah, very excited for that. There's a lot of great stuff coming along. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I guess they do use that Disney Plus thing. Okay, maybe I did too hard on them.
They do. Oh, hey. Speaking of Disney Plus, if anyone would like to cry a little bit in a good way, there's a National Geographic show. It's or a movie, a documentary. Billy and Molly, an otter love story. Ken, this is you're not even ready. It is like total art house documentary.
Really?
And it is definitely in the center of the Venn diagram of our shared love of gruff older men going through some stuff. And there's an otter.
There's an otter. I can't even. I don't even know if I can mention that to Grace. The tears are going to flow just on that, but that's something I might have to watch.
Yeah,
I might have to watch. She leaves town at one point in April. I think that might be a watch and cry on my own because it would hurt her too much to watch it. Yeah.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
That's good. Good stuff indeed. Well, hey, a lot more Force Center coming your way. Joseph, you're out this week. Jennifer and I will hold down the fort for at least first couple days of the week next week. So look forward to Jennifer and I answering your questions Monday at noon live, our time here, and news as well. I don't even know what's going on with news, so we'll talk about what pops up there. So be good.
Yeah, thank you, and Jennifer for understanding. I'm away celebrating my wife's birthday, and I'll be sad to miss everybody.
That's right. Okay. Someone asked, why is he gone? I was like, I don't know. Hope it's good. Hope it's a good reason. No. Happy pre-birthday to Sarah. Thank you all for listening. Thanks for super chats. Thanks for supporting. And we'll all see you soon here on Force Center. Bye.